What's going on, y'all? I just wanted to continue the video from the other day, y'all, and I just wanted to finish up. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what I'm saying. So much of what we do now insults people, especially people that we don't know. We talk so much about each other as a whole rather than judging people based off of who they are. To you, your experiences with that person. Alright? And it's okay not to be interested in certain people or whatever the case may be. But I want to ask y'all a question. What other group of people or what other group of women publicly speak negatively about their counterparts, ladies and gentlemen? See, the reason that I wanted to do these videos is simply because I wanted to say this. The reason why these words are being changed, manipulated, and put out there is because there's only a certain group of people who are going to look at their counterparts and say that every one of us are like this. Because you don't see white women speaking about white men publicly. You don't see Asian women speaking about Asian men publicly. You don't see Latina women speaking about Latino men publicly. You may see them talk about men as a whole, men in general, but you don't see them speaking of their men like this. But you see our women posting, saying this, saying that, watching videos, sharing certain videos, or whatever the case may be. You may see them say, this man is a narcissist. You may see them say, not this man, but black men are narcissists, black men are toxic, black men are niggas are this, niggas are that, niggas are this. But you don't see any other race doing that. So, what do you think happens when you make several posts basically denigrating your own dudes? They're going to feed you certain material, certain content. Because if you think you're the only, that the people that you have allowed to be your friends and the people that you have asked to be your friends or whatever the case may be, those are the only people who are watching your posts, you're very naive. That's why I said the Facebook Reels thing was a bunch of bullshit, because they get to control what you watch, ladies and gentlemen. That means they basically get to pick whoever wins. So if you post certain things, they're going to show you things that are right along those lines. For instance, I post a lot about relationships. So I get a lot of Jeremy Holloway, I get a lot of Kevin Samuels, I get a lot of Steve Harvey, I get a lot of the late night conversation thing. I get a lot of things that are relationship based when I go on Reels. A lot of people will say, well, that's an agenda or whatever the case may be. See, we expose our own vulnerabilities by telling everybody what we think and how we think it. And then they capitalize off of that by feeding you what you're into. And then some people will say, oh, well, it's an agenda. It is, it could be, might not be. But ladies and gentlemen, that's just basic business modeling. We want to be mad at them for what we expose on ourselves because they take advantage of that. The next football game that comes on, I want y'all to watch, because this practice has been alive as long as commerce has been here. The next football game that comes on, who watches football most of the time? Men. Watch how many truck commercials come on, because who's more likely to buy a truck? A man. So whose eyes are on the TV? Men. Who do they want to convince that the time is now for you to buy that truck you want? Men. They'll put it right there in front of your face. That's commerce. That's business. That is a business model. So we can be mad at them, but we expose our own vulnerabilities. Now, do we think that these words that are being manipulated are limited to clinical words? Nope, they're not. Because the words that are being manipulated by us as well. We change the meaning of words all the time. For instance, broke used to be something that was used in order to describe a situation, describe my situation, whether it's I don't want to give you money or I just simply don't have it. Now it's used as a word of manipulation in order to insult someone into doing what you want them to do. Case in point, the video off of Love and Hip Hop. Ladies and gentlemen, where the woman says she deserves to be married, so on and so forth. And she believes that she is entitled to have a $250,000 wedding. And he's like, for what? We're going to invest that money and think more into the future. And all she could think about is one day of impressing the people that are around her, because she has gotten that it's my day shit and took that shit off to now where he comes back and says, let's go to City Hall. I don't really agree with that, because I feel like you still have to give her something. But I'm not giving you a $250,000 wedding. No. But what does she do? She insults him. She says, how long are you going to be broke? In order to try to get what she wants. So the point that I'm making is, they make these videos available. You haven't seen one narcissist video that matches up with another narcissist video where they're saying the exact same thing. But they're going to send you all of these people who might be saying something close to what you have posted. And it's going to poison your mind, because it's close enough for you to want to agree with what they're saying. Next thing you know, you're in your household, and because you don't get your way, even whether it's right or wrong, now you're hauling off and calling your other half a name, which is only acceptable when it's aimed at men. Now, who talks to their men like that? Our women. That's the point that I was making. Show off.